Welcome back to Beat Up Builds. We gotta be a little quiet, it's late right now. So, I mentioned on the other episode I've had nothing but trouble since the timing chain gear broke in half. I replaced all that, but I had a lot of issues since then. So at first the temperature wouldn't really go above like 140 or 160. Eventually I was like, hey, this thing sounds like an airplane. So I replaced the clutch on the fan, and now it doesn't sound like an airplane anymore. It's still really hit or miss, like if it gets hot or cold. Um, it's the coolant was super dirty. I made the mistake when I lived in Florida. I put water in instead of coolant as a temporary solution. Said, hey, I'll get some coolant, tomorrow or whatever. And tomorrow turned into a week, and a week turned into, you know, months, and had just straight water in there for too long, which is not good if you've ever done that. So the coolant was horrible on this thing. I've flushed it out a couple times already, but today I'm gonna do, over the course of the weekend, I'm gonna do a super flush. I'm gonna just flush the heck out of it. The heater core keeps clogging up. The coolant's keeping its nice green color now, so I don't think it's too bad, but I still think there's some debris in there. Sometimes it'll run at 190 and other times it won't. My theory is that there's debris in there keeping the thermostat open. So that's part of the reason I want to clean it as well, on top of the heater core getting clogged and the heat not working. I kind of want to tackle it all now before it gets too cold to do that. You can do it in the winter, just it stinks. It's icy cold, and who wants to be screwing around with water? So I'm gonna start the process tonight. It's like I said, it's gonna take like all weekend, so we'll start. It's gonna be nighttime. I have a bunch to do tomorrow. It might be nighttime also tomorrow. There'll probably be some daylight in this video, but for this part we need to be a little bit quiet, it's like 10 o'clock. I don't want to wake a bunch of people up. So, probably some closer handheld shots, things like that. But let me show you what kind of chemicals I have and what I'm going to do. This is all you need to clean your cooling system. You can get this stuff at the dollar store. It's CLR, but it's a knockoff. And then some baking soda. You don't need quite as big a box of baking soda. The smaller one will do. You just need a little bit of baking soda. That's all you need to get it squeaky clean. Alright, let's see what color comes out of here. It's been sitting for a couple hours, so I don't know if thinking stuff will settle if that's the case. This stuff got all bent when I got stuck in the ice that one time long ago. So it's kind of hard to turn this petcock. There we go. Maybe it's clogged. Oh. It's definitely a little brown at first, but now it's nice and green. That's pretty green looking. Well, it's pretty much all drained out. It's way browner than it looked when I took the cap off. When I took the cap off, it was green up there, so interesting. I may not be able to reuse this. Alright, I got the garden hose hooked up here. The water, the goo, whatever is going to fly out of here all over the place. So hopefully you guys can get that on camera and you guys can see how nasty it is. So in my other video I mentioned that you can take the bit out of here and it becomes a socket, and it fits really nice on, let me see it, fits really nice on here, so we can loosen it. That's a little tip. Works a lot better than the flathead bit that's on there that strips out or whatever. Just gives you trouble. Alright, let's run some water into the block for a bit and see what comes out. It doesn't look too bad. I guess if you look really carefully at it, it does look kind of brown, doesn't it? Let's let that run for a bit and see if that goes away. I let the lower radiator hose into the block run for a bit. It didn't seem to change that little brownish red color. My theory is the red of the light was reflecting on it. That's my guess anyway. So this is what the inside of the radiator looks like. I haven't flushed it yet. What I'm going to do is turn the hose on, and I'm just going to hold it by hand in the top here, and we'll see if it cleans up just with water. I have a feeling I'm going to get wet doing this. Oh, I'm already wet, so what's the difference, right? Alright, here we go. Oh. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. That was really bad. Wow. So the good thing is it's going to rain all weekend, so I think all this is going to wash away. It won't stay in the driveway, hopefully. Oh, I can't believe how bad that was. Yeah, that was a lot dirtier than I thought it was. If we look down here, it's already quite a bit cleaner with just water. So hopefully we'll do the CLR, and then we'll kind of do the same thing here again with water. And we'll see what happens. Everything was going according to plan until this clamp decided it wanted to ruin my day. It's screwed. It's all beat up. Guess what? I don't have one. Good times. So since it's 10 o'clock at night, I can't get a new clamp. I don't think I have one. I can't find one anyway. Son of a... Of course I got the wrong size. I'm going to take the thermostat out and run the hose through there and get more of that cruddy water out of the block. Since I think that's really all I can do tonight, I'll just run more water through there. I'm debating if I should leave the thermostat out for the rest of this process until I put coolant back in. Although I don't know if the O-ring will seal up without a thermostat, so I'll probably end up putting it back in after this. Yeah, it's kind of nasty in there. I wonder if I can wipe my finger on it and see if it... It doesn't feel horrible. I guess it did smear though. How's my finger look? Kind of gross. Alright, we'll run some water through that, see if it gets any better. Alright, so I managed to find a hose clamp. It's a little long, so it has a nice tail hanging off of it that I'm going to cut myself on every time I climb under the truck. But now we can fill this up and put the CLR dollar store stuff in there. Drink up. You know what the nice thing is? We have a free spray bottle now. Gotta recycle, right? You could put anything in here. WD-40. We could put engine degreaser, something. So I bought one of these funnels off Amazon, and down here it had like a little turny thing, and I was like, hey, that's cool, I'll buy the one with the turny thing, because that's easier than putting the plunger thing in, right? Well, the turny thing leaked all over, so I returned it, and now I got the one with the little plungy thing. So yeah, don't buy the one with the little turny valve. Anyway, I'm running it now, filled it up with water, just to kind of get the air out, and I'll let it run for a minute, and then I'll take this contraption off and put the cap back on once it seems like the air's out of it, and let it run for a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. Had it running a while. See how it doesn't quite get to 190? I don't know if that's just because it's dirty. If I put my hand over the defroster here, it's nice and toasty. So I think we unclogged the heater core by blowing it backwards. It's just more or less trying to get everything out now. I've had it running for probably about... I put the cap on, and then I probably haven't had it running at operating temperature for, I don't know, probably 20 minutes. I'll let it idle as long as I can and then shut it down for the night. Alright, it's a new day. It's late. It's raining. So let's see what the CLR looks like in the radiator, and then let's drain it out. Curious to see what it looks like on the top side here. Looks about just clear. Doesn't look anything floating in there or whatever. Well, alright, let's go drain it out, see what happens. I might run it for just a little bit just to mix it all up, but not enough that it's like scalding hot. Alright, let's see how bad this looks when it drains out. I should be able to just pull it off. Let's see how easy that's going to be. Oh, there's some grossness. Alright guys, I'm flushing more. So I got the lower radiator hose off, and then I'm going backwards through the heater core, but I left it hooked up on this side, so it's going into the block, and kind of flushing through the block and coming out. Probably the absolute complete best way would be to like disconnect that over here, flush the heater core separate, maybe loop them even, take the thermostat out, flush through there. I'm trying to cheat it a little bit. I haven't gotten any big chunks. I think it's just all goop, like that brown goo. So I'm thinking if I just keep flushing and flushing, I'll be alright. I think I'm gonna let this go for a couple minutes, and then I might slip the lower radiator hose back on with no clamp, and then I might let it fill up and come out the cap. And it's just water, so if the lower radiator hose is leaking a little bit, I don't care. And then once it's coming out of the cap, it's probably relatively full. I'm gonna probably start it and let it run for probably like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm trying not to get it hot. I don't really want to like crack the block or something stupid. I don't know if that would actually happen, but I'm just trying to avoid it. I don't want to get into that expense. So I'm gonna probably do those two things, and then I think we're gonna put the other flush in there and let it run a while. Oops. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I put the hose on the heater core and I didn't put a clamp on there. I said, hey, no big deal. It's just going to leak on the ground. Who cares? It's just water. Well, some of it leaked inside. Oops. We're not perfect over here. Just good I don't have a carpet, I guess. Maybe I'll shop vac it out. We'll see. Let's move on. Alright, so there actually was some chunks in the radiator. So I'm going to run the hose through it by hand again, just see if I can get them out of there. Alright guys, the CLR didn't do quite as much as I thought it was going to do. The water came out fairly clear, a little bit dirty, but mostly clear. So let me think, I might have another idea. So I think what I'm going to do is, I read that you could put half a box of the baking soda in. I'm thinking they mean the little box, not the big giant one. So I have some in this little red cup here. And I'm going to put it in here, and we're going to try it out. This is just a little over a box, so I think I'm going to put like half a cup, maybe a little more. I think we'll be in good shape. This is hard with the front camera. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'm going to fill it up with water, let it run. And, well, I mean, worst comes to worst, I can do the radiator flush tomorrow. But I'm going to give this a shot tonight and just see. Alright guys, I think this is working. It's still not up to operating temperature. It's like 160, 170 degrees. Look how, like, rusty colored it is. Alright guys, it's been at least an hour, if not more. And look how dirty this is. I'm going to be curious to compare it to the earlier video, but like this light's really a bright light. Look how much it dims it out. I mean, this light is super bright. So I think that's very, very, very dirty. I think that the baking soda did a really good job. It'll be interesting to see when I drain it tomorrow how disgusting everything looks, but I'm guessing the water's going to look just like that. Alright, it's the morning. Let's drain this down and see how gross it is. Alright, so that didn't do as much as I thought. It does look better. Like 100% looks better in there, but there's still like a light residue. And the water wasn't like as brown as it was yesterday. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do the baking soda one more time, get it hot, and then I think I'm gonna turn it off and drain it from the petcock while it's hot. And let it cool down. And then I think then I'll fill it up with coolant. I think that's my plan. Alright, I'm gonna drain it out hot and see if it comes out any darker. The coolant bucket thing looks pretty clear, so I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything different, but let's try it. Alright, well it came out pretty clear. I'm flushing it out with just water again. But, I mean, this is pretty orange. So maybe I'll just let it, like, water run through it for like an hour or something. Um, I don't know, I'm ready to call it quits soon, so maybe I'll let the water run out for an hour and just till it looks clear. Alright guys, I ran water through it for 1 to 2 hours. I just left it running, going backwards through the heater core, and then I had this thing on here still, and I had it coming out the little drain, which is really tiny. So it was draining out the drain and it was draining out the top. I just let it go for an hour or two just to get whatever was loose out of there. So I'm filling it up now. The theory I have when I fill up coolant is I usually get the concentrated, and I ran so much water through here, I'm assuming like a half a gallon is probably in the block of water. So I put concentrate in, I put half the bottle in there. So it's like I'm kind of guesstimating like a 50-50 mix that way. Then I filled the bottle up, and now I have like just pre-mixed already. And I'm going to fill that up and just kind of mix concentrate as normal from here on out. What I'm going to try and do is I have this off. This is the highest point in the system. I'm going to try and fill it really slowly until it just starts weeping from there. And then I'll put that hose on and fill it a little more. And then I'm hoping that there will be minimal air bubbles in there to try and get out as it runs. I've also extended the funnel with the little piece thing here, because like if you could see the heater core back there, like it was a little bit over it before, but this is going to put it way over it. I just don't want to have any air in the system. And that's it. I'm going to start filling it up and run it. So it's been running for over an hour. It took a really long time to get even close to temperature. It's at like 185 now. It's only just kind of gotten up there. There's no way there's any air in here. I've had this thing running. I've been holding the RPMs up. I've been revving it, whatever. Alright guys, that wraps that one up. I'm pretty sure the thermostat is just not working right in this thing. I mean, it's clean. The heat works great. I think the heat's going to work great from here on out. I think just the thermostat's not controlling the temperature the way it should, or it's getting like hung up a little bit or not closing all the way. So I think for 10 bucks or whatever, I'll just get another one. Everything else works great. The Jegs gauge, I checked that with an infrared thermometer just to make sure there was no issue there. And that thing is like spot on. That gauge is working perfectly. So, yeah, I mean, that's how you can clean your cooling system. That's about the best you're going to get, I think, without like hot tanking it and all that. So, pretty much in short, I would either use, I really think the vinegar, the radiator flush, and the CLR are honestly all, they're kind of doing the same thing. It's all like an acidity kind of thing. I think when I read the little bottle of radiator flush, I read something that said that's a 25% concentration of acidity. But granted, it's this little tiny bottle. Vinegar, I think, was like 5% or something like that. But it's a big bottle, and you're mixing that like 50-50. I think the CLR is somewhere in between there, a little bit bigger bottle. So I really think you're all around the same acidity level at the end of the day. So I think pick one of those. The one I use, you can get it at the dollar store, so that's pretty awesome. I know a radiator flush is like probably 8 or 10 bucks. Vinegar is not too bad, but I think that's still like $3 for a gallon of vinegar. So pick one of those, run that through, flush that good, then flush it as good as you can with water, in between, or, before and in between and all that, just like I did, just flush the heck out of it, as long as you have, the time to do it. And then do the baking soda, flush that all good, and I think that's, how you're going to get your cooling system spotless, or at least as close as you can get. I think to do anything better, you'd have to like take the radiator out, have them hot tank the radiator, hot tank the block, you know, to get it like really spotless. But nobody wants to do that unless they're rebuilding a motor. So that's what I got here. Video's a little bit longer this time. Let me know what you guys think. I tried to cut it down a little bit. I cut a couple little things out, but it was hard to cut everything out because I feel like it was all part of the process. So let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if there's something maybe I missed as far as cleaning your cooling system. Maybe there's some kind of magic thing you could do, you know, that somehow I missed out on. I'd love to hear about it. Or maybe even a fail where you did, you know, tried to clean it with something else and it was a disaster. It'd be interesting to hear about that stuff. Um, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Click my Jegs affiliate link if you're going to order anything off of Jegs. That'll help me out a little bit. Um, these Jegs gauges, I think I've had them for 6 or 7 years now, and they continue to work flawlessly. No issues at all with them. So Jegs is awesome. If you want to order parts through there, do it through that affiliate link. Helps the channel out. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I've been doing a lot of truck stuff, so maybe I can break it up with something else in between. Kind of thinking maybe I should bring that little 50cc pit bike over and just mess around with that a little bit, but I'm not really sure what I want to do to it. So we'll see you guys next time, and have a great day. Be safe.